y'all's week is going well, and I am going to start kind of a new series this summer, and that is what I'm doing each week throughout the rest of the summer to prepare for a new homeschool year. So a little bit of background if this is your first time tuning in. I have 6 girls. My oldest is 15 and she's going into 10th grade. And then my youngest is 2.5. She'll turn 3 this school year. And we have been homeschooling for most of the last 10 years. And I use a Charlotte Mason approach, and specifically I use Ambleside Online for a lot of our curriculum. And I've done some videos about that, planning on doing some more kind of comprehensive videos at a look of some of the Ambleside years. But in addition to that, I thought I'd start a small series just talking about what I'm doing this week throughout the summer to get ready for next year's homeschooling. And I'm folding some towels while I'm chatting so that I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So at this point, when I'm making this video, I'm about 5.5 weeks from the first school year starting. And I've already done a few things. I mentioned in one of my videos that I'm just trying to focus a little bit on resting this summer, which is something that's hard for me to do because I feel the weight of all the things to do very heavily. I'm that typical type A personality. I love getting jobs done. I'm not always very good at see my cat in the background, he wants to hang out. Not always good at resting and enjoying just the moments of life, and I want to become more like that, so I've consciously tried to go against maybe some of my natural tendencies to embrace big family life and all the joy and messiness that comes with it. But I am also the primary kind of type A personality in the family, and so I feel a lot of responsibility to be the one that kind of uses my gifts to help the other people in my family with their lives and tasks and organization. So I'm trying to focus on resting and enjoying the summer and not just getting a lot of things checked off the to-do list. So the things that I've already done this summer, after a couple weeks of just letting myself take a break and not think about school, I organized my kind of homeschool spaces. I don't have a homeschool room. I use our dining room for homeschooling, and I have some bookshelves in there. And I did a whole tour right after I finished that organization. And so I took some time to do that. That took like a couple afternoons just during nap time, straightening up some things. The next thing that I did is I made a list. I made a couple lists. I love making lists. I don't know why making lists just helps my mind calm down. It's almost like when I can see that it is doable on paper, it helps me chill out and just take little tiny bites out of my projects or whatever. So I made a list of all the things, all the just kind of little projects that would take a mental load off of me if we could get them done before school started, so that I could not feel like we need to do those things on top of normal life. And so a lot of them are just little repair jobs that I need my husband to do. And so I made a list for him, and I put them in order of kind of importance for me. If he had free time, these are some things that I would love to get done. And so I made that list for him, and then I made a list like that for myself of some things that I would like to get done before school starts, so that I can just focus on school and family, normal family stuff, making meals, meal planning, whatever, and not be thinking about areas of the house I want to renovate or organize. I just don't, at this point in my life, have time to do anything extra when I am homeschooling. And that's just where I'm at. If that's where you're at, you can take encouragement that someone else is there with you. So I made those 2 lists, and I really was picky about what was a must, a need to, and what was something I could wait on. So I did that pretty early on in the summer. And then last week, I got out my calendar and I figured out when I wanted to start school. And I wrote that all down on my just iPhone calendar, so that as I'm looking at our family calendar, I can see what week of school we're going to be doing, what weeks I'm going to take off. And so I'll talk you through that a little bit. I try and aim for like 6 weeks on and then 1 week off of school. And a school calendar has 36 weeks in it. So I picked to start the middle of August. I love the idea of doing more year-round school because I find that sometimes in the summers it gets so hot that we're tired of doing like the swimming and all that stuff. And then when the months cool down, or in the spring when things start warming up, we really want to be outside more, and usually we're so busy with school. But so far that hasn't worked for me to do it completely year round, just because my girls do have a lot of like church summer activities that happen in the months of June and July. And so it's hard when we have like a vacation Bible school at church to also think about doing school, or for that to be like a week off for us because it's so tiring. So anyways, that's a goal. I love that idea, especially because we get tired of the hot weather. And then when the cool weather comes, we want to have more free time. So I decided to start in the middle of August this year. I think it's the 3rd week of August. And that is a few weeks later than what I'm used to in Georgia. And I blocked out the weeks we're going to do school. So we do 6 weeks of school, then we take a week off. And then we started that next 6 weeks, I think the beginning of October. And I decided to go right up to Thanksgiving. And I think that's going to end up being about 7 weeks instead of 6 weeks. But we're going to go to Thanksgiving, and then I have the week of Thanksgiving, the week afterwards, for us to finish 1 week of school. So we're probably going to do school Monday and Tuesday of Thanksgiving week, and then take off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then be able to still take off Monday, Tuesday of the week afterwards, and then pick up that week we started the week before and finish it off. I don't know if that makes sense. And then I think we're going to do 1 more week in December, because one of my goals is to have a big chunk of time off in December. I always like more time off before Christmas because I feel like there's so many things we want to do. And I've noticed a lot of schools run really close to Christmas and then give their break, between Christmas and the New Year. But I prefer to start earlier in the New Year, because by the time Christmas is over, I'm like, okay, let's pack this up, let's move along. But before Christmas is when I want time to do like all the fun things. So we're going to do school like that first week of December. And then I think it's like a 3-week break, and then start off that first week in the new year, and then continue. And I think we'll end up ending sometime in May. And so I wrote that all down so that I could see it and know when I was going to start, and so how much more time I had. Okay. So then after that, I made a new list, and I took the weeks that I have left between starting school and now, and I picked 4 or 5 different goals I had for me and my girls as far as our routine to work on before school starts. So any of you that have been around here for a little bit know that I moved into this new house about a year ago. We moved across the country about 2 years ago. So my last few summers and starts of school have been very chaotic. I've been unpacking houses while I'm doing it. I've had a baby and then a toddler. And so it's been a long time since I've felt like I am having a good handle on things that are going on. And as you probably know, whenever you move, it's like your kids have to learn a whole new routine. So it doesn't matter like all the work that I did at our house in Georgia with chores and bedtime and all that. We're still keeping some elements of that, but everything's in a new place. The routines have changed because like the bathroom situation is different or whatever. And so I have been trying to figure out this summer, what are some new routines that I could establish that would really help the school year go smoother. And so the first one we worked on last week was just waking everybody up in the mornings early. And it's actually been easier in the summer to do that because we've had a lot of morning summer activities. We've had some sports, we've had some babysitting jobs that my girls have gone to, and we've had some like play dates with people. So all the last couple of weeks, I've worked on getting all the girls up at a certain time. And then along with that, I've worked on them having more of a routine in the mornings with doing breakfast and then doing their chores before they do their music practice, because somebody always hops on the piano first thing in the morning, which is wonderful, except I'm trying to make sure they don't forget to do their chores, because what happens is they usually leave the piano and then just go about their day and have totally thrown off their routine. So I'm working on them getting up by a certain time and then doing breakfast, chores, music before they go and do any of their free time activities. And that actually went really well. I was surprised. And then this week, I'm working on that evening routine. So I'm working on us wrapping things up outside after dinner by a certain time so that we can get going on our evening chores, showering, and being in bed at a certain time. So that has not gone off to a great start because we started a church evening Bible club on Tuesday nights. And so we were out late with that last night. but going to try and get that going tonight. And then my other goals are to teach, after we get this one down, I'm going to teach some of my girls to do some of the chores that I typically do during the weeks that distract me from being able to focus solely on schoolwork. And I'm going to take the time to really teach them how I want them done, which, as you know, is going to take a lot of hands-on working that I don't feel like I have when we're in the middle of the school week. So I'm trying to be proactive with that. Some things that just hang over my head are like watering the houseplants, And so today I taught one of my girls how to water them to make sure, they're getting enough water, that they're not too soggy, that they're dry on the bottom so they don't mold the shelf that they're sitting on. I want to teach them to deep clean some bathrooms, which they know how to wipe down bathrooms, but kind of the deep cleaning of bathrooms is always hanging over me. So I thought if I would take the time to teach them how to do it, then that would take a big load off of me and allow me to not feel like I save all those things for the weekend. Okay, so that's an example of another week. And then that last week, I am planning on starting a morning time routine with my little girls, which if you've watched my year 0 of Ambleside prep, I totally recommend that. And I've done it in the past at certain times, but I have not gone into that habit in a while. I've just kind of been like flying by the seat of my pants. And so I really want to start that. I think my toddler will enjoy it, and I think it will help her start some play during the mornings with school. She's at an age where she's starting to do imaginary play finally. And so I'm hoping that if we start a little morning time together, and then she and my, what will be first grader, could scamper off and play a little bit, let me get some work done with my other girls before working with the first grader. So the morning time, and then I really want to do a gathering at 3 o'clock, which is already kind of a snack time for my girls. That hour hits 3 o'clock and they're wandering into the kitchen being like, what's for snack? And I want to do kind of a tea time there where everybody just gets a drink of choice, and maybe we have some little crackers and cheese or something like that. And that can be another time that I connect with the girls where we can start fitting in some of the artist study, composer study, all that. But before school starts, I'm just going to treat it as like, I just want to get in the habit of meeting, and I'm not going to make myself do any art lessons or drawing lessons or anything like that. But just to start getting those times as little focus points during the day would really help us. And I haven't felt like I have the capacity to do that the last few years, but I'm going to try and do that before school starts. Okay, so that's what I've done so far. The other thing I'm going to do today, actually, because I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, is I'm going to make a list. My favorite lists. Here's what's going to be on my list. Okay. I am going to make a list of all the things that I do during a week that are not a part of school. So for example, that would be meal planning, grocery shopping, sorting laundry, and getting laundry started. My main sort day is when I do all of the girls' laundry, which you can watch about that in my laundry video. That takes like 20 minutes, but sometimes it's hard for me to find time to do it, and then the laundry gets backed up. So anyways, sorting laundry, like I mentioned, watering the plants, scrubbing out, the toilet bowls, or mopping the floor, getting my sourdough going. I make my sourdough like once a week-ish, and then I just keep it in the fridge and bake it when I want to use it. I make things like homemade coffee creamer that my girls use every day, and so just always having that made at a certain time so we don't run out and I don't have to make that in the mornings. So all of those things, I'm sure there's so many more that I'm not thinking of. I want to write those down, whether it's things I do daily or things I do weekly or things I do monthly. And I want to figure out ways to get those things done so that I don't have to do them in the mornings. Because what happens is in the mornings, I feel like I need to get the sourdough done. Oh, we ran out of the coffee creamer. I need to do that. Oh, these plants are dying. I need to water them. And I just get going on all these household tasks, and it totally distracts me during the morning, and I lose those hours that could be really productive with my younger girls. And I just feel like I'm responding to the most urgent thing, and because I don't know when I'll get it done. And that's not how I want to do it, but there's an aspect in a big family where you do have to have a flexibility where you can make a plan, but you also need to be flexible enough when a child needs something different or your family needs something different to pivot. And I feel like I've worked on that flexibility over the years, and now I need to go back to having more of a plan in place so that I can get all those things done. So I am going to make that list, and I'm going to figure out ways I can fit those things into non-school times so that I can just focus on school, just focus on my toddler, and just focus on feeding everybody and keeping the laundry going, and not on all those other things that I feel like hang over me. So that's my plan this week, and I'm gonna go make that list now, and I will let you know how it goes.
enjoy these Quail Hill Cottage videos that my mom is making.